Anyway, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Look at him! He's sitting in the chair! It's more accurate! Let me tell you about Super Mario Bros. It was everyone was saying it was and I agree, it was I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Let me preface this with one thing. I don't know anything about Mario lore. I don't know jack about Mario lore, bro. All I know is Mario be saving Peach. Luigi's got a girlfriend, and Bowser kidnaps Princess. Like, I don't know anything like that much about the lore. Like, I'm not a huge Mario person, right? I enjoyed the first movie, okay? I enjoyed the first movie, alright? I know I'm not the target audience because these movies are made specifically for, like, let's be honest, little kids, right? I'm not saying that you can't enjoy Mario as an adult, because I enjoy Mario and I've played Mario for many years, okay? I'm not saying you gotta be a little kid. Honestly, well, yeah, I guess I kind of am, to be honest, but I'm still gonna give you my opinion. I do see people's points where, like, they're like, this is made for, like, YouTube, like, Reels viewers, because there was, like, the way that scenes are cut, so, like, right, movies have scenes, right? They're like, character, oh my goodness, my cat was stolen. Character goes on a journey to find cat with friends. They have a quarrel. They become no friends with their friends. They continue their journey. Their friends come to save them. They become friends. But something about this movie was, like, very cut. Like, every scene was so cut. Like, I could see how they, like, a TikTok editor would cut the movie into parts and then post it on their profile, if that makes sense. You know? It's a new thing you can. That's the other thing. Something that happened with Stranger Things. I think a lot of, maybe not directors per se, but, like, the producers or, like, Netflix or, like, the people who are releasing these movies, they're very aware of how popular cutting movies and posting it on, like, TikTok is. Because Stranger Things, if you noticed, a lot of the scenes were very, like, the characters were in the middle of the screen, so when you go to edit it, you don't have to, like, move anything, and you never don't see the characters if you just post the middle of the screen. It's really weird. It's such a small thing, but it's something that if you rewatch the last season of Stranger Things, you notice that the characters are always in the middle of the frame, and I think they do that because they know that, like, people are gonna post it and stuff. I didn't talk about how kids cut so much because it keeps them like, yeah, I could see that too. It definitely felt, yeah, no, the movie definitely felt like, boom, here's one scene, boom, here's another TikTok, boom, here's, like, it feels so, like, cut and dry in between certain scenes. So I definitely see how what people were saying about, like, where it's like a very, like, for Instagram Reels watcher, or, like, I think they said YouTube Shorts, like, YouTube Shorts watchers. I think just, like, they're becoming more aware, and this isn't, like, they're just more aware of, like, what's popular on the internet and stuff, which kind of sucks because it does kind of affect, like, the way that they make things now. Animation, amazing, so good, actually, crazy. The texturing on everything is insanely great. I like how glossy everything is. It makes sense for, like, a Mario movie because Mario has always been, like, super colorful, right? They have a lot of, like, if you look at the designs of the characters, they're very, like, flat colors, right? So I think they translated it from, like, the 2D to the 3D really well, and I do really like how shiny and bright everything is, and it's also probably super appealing to little kids. And sometimes movies like that can just look like throw up on your eyes, but again, I can let it slide for this movie because it's Mario, you know, it's a Mario, so, you know. It looks great though. It looks great. It's also not just flat. That's my other thing. Is sometimes when they go for this really, really glossy looks in movies, it just kind of feels like a little flat sometimes, but I think they remedy the flat looking, like, this flat looking problem with, like, the textures they put, because if you pause any scene from that movie and you, like, zoom in into a character's shirt, you can see, like, how they modeled everything, and it's crazy. It reminds me of Resident Evil 9. Ooh, we're talking about Mario, and then I'm like, Resident Evil 9. Resident Evil 9, if you look at anything modeled in that movie, in that game, it's kind of crazy how much detail is put into these things now. They're also the continuity is kind of crazy. There's a scene, I was in the trailer. It's when like Bowser's like, oh, look at my painting, and he shows him the painting, and then he gets mad because, you know, he doesn't like Mario or whatever. He like breaks the painting and the frame, right, the wood frame of the painting. I forgot the name of it, please don't get mad at me. And there's just a chunk on the ground, like you visibly see the chunk fall onto the ground, and it stays there. And I know this is like a tiny little detail, but I think it's cool. They do that a lot, where like they will show a character doing something, and then they cut away, and then they cut back to the character, and stuff isn't moved around. And sometimes, like, if you watch like older, you know, animation and stuff like that, sometimes like pieces of whatever the character was working on is gone now or whatever. They don't do that. It's actually kind of crazy. There's a lot of little details in this movie. Oh, they also have a lot of little Easter eggs. Again, I don't know that much about Mario, but there's a lot of cool Easter eggs. I won't spoil any of them, but there's a lot of stuff in the backgrounds. I feel like, me personally, since I've only played a couple of Mario games, I can't really point out, but it's really cool. It's a lot to see. I think it's what they were going for too. There's sometimes when you're like looking at it, it's like, Jesus, what do I look at? Like, there's so many like background characters and like so many things happening in the background and stuff. So it's a very visually busy movie, but I kind of like it. Writing wise, me, you know, it's a Mario movie, like, me. There wasn't like, there's a clear storyline, and they followed through with the storyline. And the character arcs in this movie aren't that crazy. It's very base level writing, I'll be honest, but I'm not surprised. Again, kids movie, you know, it's kind of cute, some of the stuff, you know, the Bowser arc, and like Mario is kind of just there, to be honest. I feel like, not that he takes a back seat, but like I feel like some of the other characters shine a little bit more than he did a lot of the time. A lot of Peach. Not enough Rosalina, I will say. Not enough Rosalina for me personally. I wish they would have put her more in the movie, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the I feel like Luigi had he had some pretty good moments. And Yoshi had a lot of good moments too. I still can't believe that's Donald Glover, I'm gonna be honest, doing his voice. Like, I was like, there's gotta be some point in the movie where I can hear him. Not a single point in the movie I could tell it was him. I don't know. They could have had somebody else do it, and they could have just slapped his name on there, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's actually kind of crazy to me. I don't know how much editing they did to his voice, but he sounds really good. It's so weird. It's so weird. I try not to think about it too much because it's really weird. I saw trying to say that physically, I'm supposed to keep watching, a bunch of them were crashing away. I feel like a lot of people are being really, really critical of this movie. There's a lot of like fans who are like, this is why we should never have Illumination make anything. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is... Nintendo is pretty protective over their IPs. And I don't think like the story changes and the continuity changes when it comes to the lore of the characters was an Illumination decision. I feel like Nintendo comes to them and they're like, here's the story, make it, and Illumination's just like, okay, and they just do the animation. I don't think they sit there and, as far as I know, I don't think they sit there and like change stuff about the story. Especially because, again, I know Nintendo is super, super picky about the way that like their IP is handled, which is why they don't have Fortnite skins, you know, like they don't do collabs, which is why all their games you can only play on Nintendo Switch, you know, like they are super, because imagine if they put Nintendo games on the PC, people would start modding them, right? And I think modding is interesting because in a way it does kind of keep these games like alive. Like think Resident Evil, like a big reason why like people still go back and play older Resident Evils, right? Not just because they're good, I mean they're good games, but also people love to mod those games and like do like speed runs and like what is it called, like randomizers. They love to do like randomizers and stuff, like, so they heavily mod these games, which keeps them alive for a while. But also you have to realize they make some crazy mods, and I think Capcom sees like the difference. They're like this, or the, what's it called, the trade-off, you know, they see the trade-off and they're like, okay, it's fine, so they don't say anything about the modding. But Nintendo, you know, like they're not into that stuff. Like they'd rather keep their games on the Switch, and they're super critical about people who try to mod their consoles and stuff. It can be done, I think. As not that I would do it, but I think you know. But yeah, overall, honestly, it's a good movie to like kind of go in and turn off your brain and just watch and just kind of like you know that one Patrick picture where he's like he's like drooling and there's rainbows and unicorns behind him. Honestly, if you want an experience like that, or you just want to see good animation, that's a movie to watch. It, I will say, I love the way they do the fight scenes, and a lot of them are princess based, like it's the princesses, so it's like Peach or Rosalina. The fights, they're really good. They have the best fights, which I love, because they're blocked really well and they're choreographed really well, which is kind of surprising for a kids movie. But if you just want a movie to turn off your brain and just like rainbow schlop in your eyes, this is your movie to go. You should watch this movie.